Hey y'all, I'm J. Nicole, and I am back with another episode of TV Talkback. And tonight we are talking about Love and Hip Hop Miami, Season 4, Episode 15. So yeah, let's get into it. Child, let's address the elephant in the room, the fact that I look halfway presentable. Yeah, I'm in front of this camera at 11 p.m. before I have to be to work at 6. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm definitely pushing my line tonight, but I want to get these videos out the way. I don't even know if I'm gonna include this part in the actual upload, but the fact remains that I'm here and I'm a little bit tipsy, and we're gonna see if that makes the video a little bit more interesting tonight. It's Sunday night. I think a new episode comes on tomorrow, so I need to get this out. But regardless, I don't know. I'm doing the best I can as far as being consistent and uploading in a timely manner. Life be lifing. And so, yeah, let's just see what we get accomplished tonight. I'm going to try not to be long-winded. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. But anywho, so at the beginning of the episode, Trina pulls up to Drink Champs. I don't remember anything, significant happening during this part of the show, but I would say that I truly love Trina's interviews. I listened to her episode on the Read podcast. I listened to that episode twice, which is a lot for me, especially if the episode's like 2 hours long. But I really love Trina's interviews. She's likable in the interviews, she's relatable in the interviews, and she does her thing. So, yeah, she's on Drink Champs with Nori. Of course, Nori wants Joy to get back with Trick. What nigga don't? Like, it's pretty typical as far as a guy's perspective or point of view. Child, I have no sympathy for Trick when it comes to Joy. And I low-key wish that she would just go down to the courthouse and get the Kim K treatment. What Kim do with Kanye? She pretty much was like, she was declared single. And Joy out here dating and having full-on relationships, and Trick is thinking that, oh, I gave her my permission. She's in a relationship because I let her be in a relationship. Sir, you don't want that lady. You want her because I think it's ownership to Trick. But he don't want to be in like a regular, normal relationship with Joy. It's like he pretty much just don't want nobody else to have her, and fuck him for that. But whatever. So yeah, anywho, next we're with Amara, and Amara pretty much realizes that she's not a priority to Alan, the father of her twins, and that she'll be doing this alone. And for once, I think Amara's being a smart girl. Yeah, this man hasn't really been with you through all of your pregnancy. He hasn't come up there to spend time with you. Of course you're going to be alone. Of course you're going to raise those girls alone. So you might as well just kind of come to grip with that and figure out how you're going to move forward. But yeah, she calls a best friend who we've never seen before. Who's this man? Who's this man? We've never seen this guy before. She's been on this show 4 whole seasons, never seen this guy, but she says that's her best friend, and so he comes through and she talks to him, and she's contemplating performing at some event in Arizona, and she's whining as Amara does. Amara keeps whining, but she's trying to figure out whether it's safe for her to perform at this event in Arizona.
I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.
I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona.
And basically, her friend told her to sit her ass down. Like, you have a high-risk pregnancy, and your health is more important than stacking money for, your kids. And basically, she's trying to stack money in order to be in a decent place when she has to, take a break and take care of her infants or whatever. But basically, if Amara is not careful, she may not even make it to a healthy, she may not even be able to deliver healthy babies. So she needs to sit her ass down. That is all with Amara for now. And next we are with Bobby Lights and Snoop, and they meet up with Raymond, which is Trina's fiance, basically to kind of address this whole situation that's been going on. And Bobby wants an apology from Raymond, and quite frankly, I feel like he deserves it. You should not be putting your hands on nobody. We're at a certain age where, like, you should be thinking long and hard before you even get to that point. So I think Bobby does deserve an apology. And Snoop says that he thinks it's a miscommunication between the guys. Ain't no miscommunication at all. Nothing was miscommunicated, misconstrued. I don't think so. Like, Raymond does not like Bobby. Whatever Bobby did, Raymond felt like it was a good enough excuse to hit that guy or smack that guy or however he's justifying it. Absolutely not. So Raymond says he shouldn't have to deal with it. He shouldn't have to deal with Bobby, but it's Trina's family. So yeah, you shouldn't have to deal with it. You're making it a situation that you have to deal with. This is Trina's cousin. So if you truly don't want to deal with him, then don't communicate with this person. But you also should show him respect, if for nothing else, in the fact that he's going to be there. That's her family. So basically, Raymond keeps saying that it didn't happen. He didn't punch Bobby. Like, basically, Bobby's making things up. But then he later admits to slapping him. Like, says it was an open-handed slap. Semantics? Like, you put your hands on him. Stop acting like Bobby's crazy. This part, not only did it confuse me, but it's kind of pissing me off, because let's not act like Bobby's making things up. You put your hands on that man. Slap, punch, whatever. And apparently Bobby asked for weed and the situation escalated, but Raymond, you couldn't walk away from this? Like, Raymond, if you have Trina's best interests at hand, then why don't you know how to walk away from the situation instead of, like, turning it into something else? Or, allowing it to escalate into something else. I just don't get it. But, Raymond feels like Bobby doesn't have Trina's best interests at heart. But once again, I just don't think that it's his situation to resolve. This boy has been around Trina, as far as I know, at least, as long as they've been filming this show. Him and Joy have kind of been part of Trina's little entourage or whatever. So if you truly have Trina's best interests at heart, you should kind of, if you know you don't fuck with Bobby and you rather just not interact with him, you should kind of distance yourself as opposed to trying to resolve this situation for Trina. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically the gist of that for now. So next we have Florence and her sister Gael. And Florence is getting ready for a concert. You see the little the clip of her, I guess, preparing for the concert. However, Gael's home drinking and kind of wrecking her brain about her situation with her sister, looking very crazy. The scene is hella dramatic. Gael drops a glass. She's so overwhelmed with the situation. And it's just like, girl, just tell us that you've been fucking Marlon, because I'm through with all the dramatics. And so her friend Debbie comes over to talk to her. And sure enough, Debbie is the friend that we found out slept with Marlon last season. So we already know Gael on bullshit, because you so cool with the same girl who slept with your sister's husband. So during this conversation, Gael admits that her and Marlon kissed. And it's like, I already knew that. Like, come on. So then Debbie's like, what else? And that's the same thing I'm wondering. Yeah, what else, girl? Because you not, granted, you should not be kissing your sister's husband, but what else did you do? Like, let's just get to it. So Debbie is able to pull out of Gael that Gael has been sleeping with Marlon, which I call this last season. Like, I was waiting for her to admit this last season, but they made it about Debbie, which I guess was a friend of theirs. But yeah, turns out Gael been sleeping with Marlon too. She says over 3 months, but how long y'all been filming this show? Because you've been sleeping with that guy for a long time. And Debbie was like, well, how did you let this get this far? And my immediate response is, well, the same way you did, sweetie. Like, y'all both sleeping with that man. So now Gael's trying to figure out how does she break it to her sister, which of course now she wants to because the cameras are rolling again. That girl is trash. She's trash. Marlon's trash. I don't even know why Florence would be surprised because I seen this coming last season. But say what you want. They're probably the most interesting, part of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Quiet as it's kept. Next we have Shay, and she meets up with her family. Once again, she doesn't want to disclose who the baby father is. And there's an elephant in the room when it comes to her and her family, and it's pretty much the unresolved issues that they have. So we're going to see that play out between her and her mom and all that good stuff. Shay don't get along with her family, blah, blah, blah. Next, we have Amara again. And we just see the word Arizona flash across the screen, which lets us know that Amara's hard-headed ass went to Arizona despite, her best interests. And she says that while she was there, the rescue people had to come twice. And it turns out it was not even for her. But her mom, I guess, had chest pains. And basically, you went to Arizona to get money and fulfill this, obligation that you had. But y'all worried these people twice to come to your room, and you should have kept your black ass in Miami. Just stupid. I don't even know if the actual show went on, but it just turns out her and her mom should have stayed in Miami instead of going. So next we're at Florence's show, and Florence is unaware, but Gael shows up, and Gael is feeling guilty and wants to tell Florence about her and Marlon, but she decides she's not going to do it until after the show. But Florence has her own problems backstage because Shasi, which is probably the number one person who keeps coming at Florence online, brings her flowers, and Florence kind of knows that she's on BS, and sure enough, they get into a whole brawl pretty much with the flowers, and they kind of fighting or whatever. And in my opinion, it's ain't no way I'm having a conversation with an opening act while I'm backstage getting ready to go on. No ma'am. So they escort Shotzi out, but yeah, I don't know. So next we see Shay talk to her dad, and pretty much Shay's mom is another TV mom that doesn't show affection to her. So that's something that Shay has pretty much been carrying with her, and she has a much better relationship with her dad. And it just makes me realize, the older I get, the more I realize that everybody is not brought up the same way. Everybody's parents don't treat their kids the same way as I was treated. I don't know. I can imagine, my mom not really showing that affection to me, but it's clearly a lot of people deal with it. So, yeah. So, next we have Trina, and Raymond is sounding sad, and he comes up to her and tells her, I guess, that he had a conversation with Bobby, and Bobby feels like he's left out of the family. But I'm confused because it's more than just Bobby feeling left out of the family. Bobby feels disrespected by you. And that's why he's distanced himself. So I just thought this was weird that he kind of switched up that whole thing that's going on or whatever. But of course, Trina doesn't care. Trina's not thinking about Bobby. And then when it's brought to you like that, making it seem like Bobby's kind of playing victim, then of course Trina is gonna feel away. But long story short, the situation with Bobby isn't new. Pretty much long story short, Trina doesn't really care. I guess she feels like, especially the way Raymond brought it to her, she feels like Bobby is kind of playing victim. And Trina has tunnel vision as far as her career. She don't really have place for her cousin who doesn't feel like he's a part of the family or whatever. But we know that's not necessarily the case. Raymond wasn't being totally honest. The problem is with you. So lastly, we have Florence. Florence is getting ready to go out on stage. She's like at the side of the stage getting ready to be called on, but I guess the order is messed up, or they feel like the order has been messed up because she keeps getting pushed back. So she came to the stage thinking, oh, you're next, and lo and behold, she keeps getting pushed back. So I will be annoyed too. Apparently her original call time was at 9:30. We look up, it's 11:30, and she still has not gone on. She's just standing at the side of the stage watching more and more people get called on. And she eventually realizes she's been played. And so Marlon then takes it upon himself to confront the host of the show on the stage in front of the audience. And so that shit just gets out of hand. And although Marlon felt like he was kind of looking out for Florence, he came off hella unprofessional. He made it worse. And yeah, he's in the confessional like, would they do this to J&B? Obviously not. But y'all not J&B. Y'all gotta get that out y'all head first. Although she's the self-proclaimed queen of Kumpa, y'all not Beyonce and Jay-Z by any means. Many of us don't even know what Kumpa is, so get that out your head. Y'all not them, so you probably shouldn't have had this reaction to go on stage and cause this scene. But whatever the case, that's how we ended this episode. It looked like it's about to be a whole scuffle on stage, and then the episode ends. But we had a double episode, so let's get into it.
Hello, motherfucker.
We're now on episode 6, season 4, episode 16 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. And pretty much a fight breaks out at the show between Marlon and the host. And so then Florence takes it upon herself to go out and to appeal to the crowd. And she it was giving Selena when Selena was performing at that show in the movie, and then the crowd got really rowdy and they started pushing forward, and it kind of put her and the band in danger. And then she had to go out and like calm the crowd down. Come on la floor. Dun, dun. I don't know the words, but the point is that's what it was given, but it was the total opposite. Florence went out there talking about something, maybe if the crowd sees me, they'll feel better. And she started doing all this, and it looked more like she was taunting the crowd. It was very stupid, and the crowd started booing her, and it just made the situation totally worse. And yeah, security ended up kicking her and Marlon and the rest of the crew out, like kicked them out the show. So then you have Gael, who turns up at the show, but her sister doesn't know. And so Gaia gonna come over talking about, you have to perform, you just have to perform. And then Florence like, no, stuff went on, I can't perform, they kicking us out or whatever. You just have to, you have to. And that part was so weird because I'm sure Florence was super irritated. And I just would have been like, well, girl, you go talk to the promoter and I'm gonna meet you at the house, because what are we doing? So finally, as Florence is like heading back to the house or whatever, she feels like it's been a setup. And she's probably right. For you to get booked for an entire show and then it just falls apart, yeah, something's telling me it's a setup. They got your ass. So next we see Ray J and sad music is playing and we see him packing boxes and kind of reminiscing over the past few years of his life. But then he walks outside to what looks like a whole party going on, like a going away type of situation. And it's pretty much Trick and a bunch of random chicks, and he having a whole party at the crib that he was making a home with Princess and his kids. But it turns out, of course, Princess has moved out, and I guess Ray is about to move out that house too. And so he mentions being in the hospital with pneumonia and said that Princess was not there for him and he almost died, which I remember seeing the clips on the Shade Room or whatever. But with the Ray, a lot of stuff seems like publicity, so you never know what's like true or not. But I guess he had a bad case of pneumonia. His fate was looking pretty uncertain. And when he needed Princess and his kids the most, they weren't there.
And then you coming with all this, and if you really felt like that, you left him for dead.
You left my child for dead.
So yeah, so like I said, him and Princess are getting separate homes or whatever. And it looks like Princess has already moved on in terms of dating somebody else, which makes Ray J feel some type of way because we know guys can't handle stuff like that. Clearly Ray is fucking other women, but as we know, he's not taking it well now that Princess seems to be moving on. So next we see Nori at the juice spot with his family. Lil C's from Junior Mafia comes in, and that was nice to see. And this is the first time seeing Nori and Nuri talk to their kids or with their kids on camera. And Nori pretty much is talking about taking the kids to New York for spring break, just to see where he's from. So next we see Princess, and she's with the kids, Epic and Melody. Uncle Jason comes over, whoever that is. Pretty much Princess got a new boyfriend. And so she tells this Uncle Jason guy that Ray's crib or Ray's new home is 10 minutes away. And she wants to go over to make sure the place is baby proof. Which we know is a scene that they setting up to get those two together and talk about, I guess, their issues. And then clearly people in Miami love oxtails because we see Princess making oxtails, and then next we see Suki's fiance Bill. And he's ordering oxtails also. So next thing we see Bill, and he's meeting up with his aunt. Says he misses Suki. She's still his best friend, and best friends argue. I guess people have conflicts. Best friends have conflict, but that hitting below the belt y'all be doing, I can't relate. Hell, during this scene, they literally echoed, "You fat bitch, you fat bitch." What she called them last time we seen them film together, so I don't know. So Bill says he was in prison for 6 years and he's been in and out since the age of 12, and his mom passed when he was younger. So his aunt, which is the mom's like best friend, is telling him about how his mom was And then we get to see childhood photos of Bill. And so the aunt basically persuades Bill to go see the mom's grave. After that, Nori goes to New York. I don't really care too much about this. He linked with Capone, which was like his group mate. During this scene, I did think it was funny that his kids had on the Yeezy slides or whatever. But they're walking through Nori's old neighborhood. They're walking through Nori's old neighborhood, and Nori pretty much tells the kids, I don't know, you can't be wearing slippers in the projects, like it don't sit well with me. True, like, you can tell the kids ain't used to no type of danger. But whatever case, they walk through Queensbridge, and it's cool to see the history of like old school hip hop as it relates to Queensbridge. But yeah, that was about it. Next, we have a sit down, and this with Florence's team and the girl Shasi. And first off, Florence and Marlon, Beyonce would never. If it's gonna be a conversation between the managers, I don't think Beyonce would be there. With that being said, I didn't care why Florence is talking. But Shasi pretty much wants Florence to apologize for calling herself the Queen of Koompa. But let's be real, shouldn't everybody feel like they're the queen? Isn't that just like a hip-hop, rap artist thing? Like, you know, maybe she's not necessarily hip-hop, but you get what I'm saying. Everybody should feel like they're the queen or king of their genre, of their lane. And instead of getting mad about it, shouldn't you prove why you're the one instead? Whatever. So then Shasi's manager says that Marlon was wrong, which he was. It was not his place to go fuss at or get into it with the host of the show. But now Shasi's manager is trying to get Florence to see that her management team was wrong, because they should have been able to save her from the embarrassment of that night. But also, nobody told Florence to go up on that stage and further agitate the crowd. So, I don't know. It's stupid. And then we get the quintessential drink throwing between both artists and their management. And I guess what I'm thinking of this whole thing is that Florence just need to stop performing on the bill where she sees Shasi is performing, because that girl is clearly trying to get shine and light off of you. Like, let's keep it real. I don't know what the fuck a Koompa is. I don't know who y'all are if it weren't for this show. But I tell you one thing. Florence is a cast member on this show, not the Shasi girl. So maybe you're not the Queen of Koompa, but you the one we actually get to see every week. I don't know who that girl is. So back in New York with Nori, his sister comes out. She still lives there. He gets a haircut in front of his father's mural. Dad was a boxer. And I, for one, I'm not mad that Nori is finally getting meaningful scenes or significant scenes. I just don't really care. Like, we know how this goes. Love and Hip Hop is about the mess. And this storyline isn't necessarily about the mess. I'm happy that Nori is getting exposed to an audience or to people who wouldn't normally know about him or get to know about him. That's great. It just doesn't make for great TV. So that's that. After this, we see Bill, and he goes to see his mom's grave for closure. Mind you, she passed away when he was a baby or an infant. He was very young. But Suki comes with him, which is surprising, I'm sure, to most of us. But yes, Suki goes with him. And it's cute that he's talking to his mom about Suki. And we learn that her and his mom have a lot of similarities. So, and he even sat in front of his mama's grave and said that Suki's a good one and that they're gonna have a baby and name her after the mom. And okay. So lastly, Princess is at Ray J's new spot. It's their first time seeing each other in person in months. And Ray said he's done with being a bachelor. And then, of course, she starts the conversation with him, like, oh, you sure? And all this stuff. I know she did it, I know the producers probably prompted her to have this conversation, but in real life, there's no way I would have even wanted to address what it is he's doing and how he feels so grown up. Because Ray be lying, Ray be fucking bitches, Ray be partying. So I could care less. Personally, I would care less about having a conversation with him. But she did. He says that this isn't a bachelor type of place. We just more lies from Ray. More lies. I think both of them are childish. Like I said earlier, Ray was on his deathbed. He had pneumonia. He didn't know what his future looked like or if he would even live. And of course, Princess did not bring the kids to see him. I do think that was sad. I do think that was messed up. But at the same time, Ray is telling us that, yeah, I F bitches or whatever, but strippers and prostitutes don't count. I don't know any of their names. The point is, Ray J said that thing with authority, as if this was some unspoken rule that we all are aware of. Like, oh, as long as I don't know the names of the prostitutes and strippers that I'm fucking, then it doesn't truly matter. If for some reason you and your girl have this agreement with one another, then that's great. But you just saying it as if that's law. No, you're still cheating on her. You still messing with people outside of your relationship. You know damn well you're wrong. And I for one am curious about the conversations that Sonya and Brandy have with Ray, because he a hot ass mess and he just been on our TV screens acting a fool for some time now. Clean before him and Princess got married. But she the one who went along with the marriage even knowing what that man was doing, so whatever. But of course now he feels some type of way that she's moving on and that she's dating. But of course they're still married. So he's saying to us, and I guess he feels like Princess is the one in the wrong because she's carrying on a relationship and she actually likes a man despite the fact that her and Ray are still married. And then he asks her, well, what would our kids think? And once again, I want to let that question affect me either way. But of course, she gets all up in arms and she goes and locks herself in a room and throws out the mic and pretty much like, oh, he brought my parenting into question. No, ma'am. He really just tried to get up under your skin, and that's exactly what happened. Because my answer to that would have been, oh, my kids probably think it's time that I take care of me and focus on myself because you've been doing you for a long ass time now. And quite frankly, daddy's been treating me like shit. But yeah, that is episodes, what is this? But yes, that is Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 4, Episode 15 and 16. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.